This looks like a job for Superman.
Hey everybody, Rez the Collector here with another Superman related review. This is one that I don't know why I put off for so long. It was during my little hiatus from doing videos that we received this figure. Arguably one of the best figures to come out of 2014, and that is the Mattel Signature Series Doomsday Unleashed. Now we got two Doomsdays in 2014. We got both the Containment Suit, which of course you can see my review on that, and I'll go ahead and, if I remember, to put a link in the description here for that review. And then later on, there was rumors after that, when we knew that was coming out, there was rumors of the Unleashed. And then the people said it wasn't coming out, then it was. And finally, Mattel announced the Unleashed Doomsday, and everybody lost their freaking minds. Rightfully so. Because this is something that collectors had been asking for a very long time, was a correct scale Doomsday. I mean, of course, we'd had other Doomsdays. We'd had great Doomsdays. The DC Direct Doomsday is fantastic. Mattel has put out plenty of Doomsdays, but never one in the correct size. And I always thought myself, why didn't they ever do a Collect and Connect Doomsday? I mean, that seems like something that would be just... I just don't understand why they didn't ever do that. I mean, they gave us characters that nobody really would really want, like Imperiex or whatever his name was. I mean, why would you do that and not give us Doomsday? Because that would have been basically the correct scale, and, you know, you could have sold a lot of figures. I mean, you could have put it with a lesser, you know, a series that wasn't going to sell well, and it would have sold because Doomsday would have been in there and you could have built him. It would have been amazing. I don't understand why they didn't do it, but they did finally give it to us. One of the last figures to come out of the Mattel DCUC. The last figure, of course, being Damian Wayne. But they finally gave it to us. As you can see here, very specialized packaging. Very large boxes because he is a very large figure. Of course, the outer box, you can see there on the right-hand side, is the Superman blood-dripping S. Now, I personally feel that they kind of did this backwards. I think that the Containment Suit should have been white, and the Unleashed should have been black. Because the black with the bleeding S, that was basically the image that was used for the death of Superman. And it was the Unleashed version, of course, that he was fighting when he died. So I really think they kind of did that ass backwards, but who knows, were they actually planning to release the Unleashed at that point? Maybe not, and that's why they went with the black box for the Containment Suit. Possibly, I don't know. I don't work for a big toy company, because if I did, we'd get much cooler shit. Alright, so let's take a look at the outer box first. Of course, you can see here, it's a very large white box. It does have the Adult Collector and the Mattel logo, of course, with the large bleeding Superman S. On the top, it does say Signature Collection Doomsday. On the back, it just gives us Doomsday is coming and a bunch of different stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. Feel free to pause and read anything you want. I'm not going to read it to you. The sides of the box are blank, and the bottom just has your standard toy info. So let's put that aside. The inner portion of the box, they went all out on this as well. Sorry for the moving of the camera. As you can see here, the window is where Doomsday appeared. Very nice outer cardboard shell, giving us a very cool look at Doomsday himself. And then, of course, this slides off. Excuse me for a moment while I get this stupid thing off. And then, just like with the Containment Suit, we got a very cool inner box. Now, as you can see, there's a little diorama in there of the city of Metropolis, destruction. You can see inside that, of course, there's a street destroyed in there. Very, very cool looking box all over. Of course, again, we have Signature Series Doomsday, Adult Collector. The final figure, I guess, Yeah, I thought Damian was the final figure. Of course, we've got that iconic image there of Superman's cape on the pole there after he had died. You've got the figures standing there having witnessed Superman basically dying for them, dying for the people, and it was all bloody and it was bad stuff. All right, I'm going to pause real quick, and then we're going to get the figure, and it's going to be great, so be right back. All right, I'm back, and here he is in all of his Superman killing glory. I'm just going to let you look at him for a second, because that is just one massive, awesome figure. I'm going to turn on my little rotating whatnot here, but he is pretty heavy, so I'm probably going to have to help it out. Yeah, see? But just that 360, I mean, they did a fantastic job on this, and including the cloth cape on the end of his knuckle spikes is just an awesome, awesome touch. So you can see there in that 360 that he is massive, he is very detailed. Just an amazing, amazing figure. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this, not that I really need to, because he's pretty heavy and it doesn't want to turn anyway. All right. First, I'm going to actually move this closer a little bit, and let's take a look at the sculpt. So, just kind of get him. Let's start with the head. Now, as you can see, they really spared no details or no anything on the head. The thing that amazed me most, and I don't know if you can see it in this light, is the inside of his mouth. He actually has a painted tongue in there, and it's just, you can't see it. Not really well, but I assure you can see it a little bit there. I assure you, his tongue is fully painted, and his jaw is actually kind of rubbery enough that you can get a little bit of movement there. I mean, not that he's going to stay, but just amazing on the head sculpt. I mean, the bone coverings over the eyes, the teeth, the bone spiked beard, the nose ridge, the hair coming off the top, that split right there in the sculpt. Everything about this head sculpt is just fantastic. They did an amazing job on it. I love the color scheme. You can see like broken bone shards here. The color scheme going from blue to white here at the end. The little notches in the bone. I really can't say enough about how well they did the head. Now moving around to the back, that large partition that goes across his shoulders is just, I mean, everything on this figure is pretty much fantastically done. I mean, it's soft rubber, so, you know, you're not going to stab yourself with it. Unlike the DC Direct version, which is a hard, very hard rubber substance that will stab the crap out of you, I have found, when I have picked him up in the wrong way. Just the back is just done amazing. I mean, look at all of that blue coming up into the white again, as I said before. That hair sweeping back from the head and like a samurai braid. Just awesome, awesome things. Now, one thing Mattel did skip out on, and I believe they did this for the reasons of articulation, is he does not have any spikes here on his shoulders. And the reasoning is if he did, you would not get this movement here. And honestly, I'm fine with those not being there, because I like to have that movement in the arms. You can get so much articulation out of this guy. It's crazy. Moving on to the hands. Again, look at the sculpt on those knuckle spikes. The hands over into the forearm, and then that long spike coming off the forearm. Just an amazing, amazing job. They did such a fantastic job with this figure. It makes me sad seeing this. Whoa. There he goes. He's limbo. Limbo. And my dogs are barking at something. I don't know what. Sorry about that. Limbo dancing and barking dogs. It makes me sad that this is the end of the DCUC line when they pulled out something like this to be one of the final figures, if not the final figure. to show us this amazing, amazing figure and then be done with it, I think Mattel's crazy. Now, I'm not happy with Mattel, especially with what happened with this figure, and I'm trying not to let that kind of taint my review, but all of you know the problems they had with shipping with this figure, so I'm not going to go into that. And I know a lot of us have said that we would never buy from Mattel again because of that. So, I mean, that aside, to give us this and then be done with the line, regardless of anything else, I think is such a foolish decision on the part of Mattel. And to go to, like, the multiverse figures, and it's non-multiverse. All they've done is basically they've given us Christopher Reeve Superman, which great, thank you very much. General Zod, and every single figure that's come out in that line besides that is a goddamn Batman figure. And I know that there's a lot of Batman lovers out there. There's a lot of people that they buy, and Batman sells, and I understand that. But you can't call a line DC Multiverse and release every figure that you can possibly can of Batman and absolutely nothing else. No other figure has come out besides Christopher Reeve and the General Zod that isn't a Batman. Everything. I mean, they've gone through different Batman. They've gone through video games and Keaton, and they've crossed the multiverse Batman, but nowhere else. And I'm really sick of it. I'm tired of seeing the new multiverse coming out and it's all fucking Batman. Excuse me, I tend not to swear in my reviews, but that's actually really pissed me off. Just looking at the last few years, I went and counted. There's a particular website I go to that shows basically every figure that's been released from DC Collectibles. And I counted the number of Batman's figures, Batman and related figures, versus basically anything else. And it was just such a staggering amount. And figures that, we've gotten like 3 or 4 versions of Joker, New 52 Joker. We've gotten like 2 or 3, 4 versions of New 52 Harley. Why? I mean, there's so many other things that they could highlight. I'm talking about DC Collectibles here, not even Mattel, that they're doing the same thing. They're just releasing, and I realize that Batman had his 75 year. This is Robin's 75 year. But Superman had his, and during that year we got a couple of things. And it irritates me. And not that I want Batman fans to not get the stuff, because, I fully, you guys love Batman, get your Batman stuff. I have some Batman stuff too, but to see that overwhelming majority just to be Batman stuff, and see a lot of it not sell, and they're ignoring the rest, both Mattel and DC, for a good portion, is just ignoring the rest of the universe and just concentrating on one character. I mean, how many different New 52 Batmans have we got? Between the Capullo series, the Metallic, this and that, there is a crap ton of just New 52 Batmans out there. Wow, I got off on a Batman rant. I am sorry, we're looking at a Doomsday figure. Really sorry about that. Just the whole Mattel thing led into DC Collectibles, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't bitch about shipping, but I bitched about that. Alright, Doomsday. We just got done talking about his hand spikes, but just look at his hands here. Trying to get back here. Just look at his hands here. Look at the detail put into the knuckles. You can see the thumbnail clearly detailed, and ridges in the thumbnail. You've got veins in the arm. You've got the wonderful chest piece here. The chest itself, other than the chest piece, is a basic DC Direct, or not DC, DCUC blown up chest piece. Their basic body buck, just kind of blown up. But we did get that awesome piece there. The other arm is basically the same. As you can see, I do have the shredded Superman cape on that arm. And again, amazing, amazing accessory to have with this. It can, of course, be removed and set aside, but I keep mine on my figure. Moving down, of course, you can see we've got what remains of the Containment Suit. We've got his belt, the standard green here, shorts, and then coming down into the metal hem, I guess. And then again, more of that amazing spiked look on his shins. Just want to make sure he's not going to fall over while I do this. Just kind of pan down here a little bit. And of course, there he goes, and almost took out my entire review space. It's one of my videos, so something has to fall. You can see here that, again, that amazing work on the shin bones, and then just the containment suit boots. Now, articulation for him is the same as any other DCUC figure. He's got, of course, a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, rotation at the bicep, bend at the elbow, and rotation at the wrist. He, of course, has the ab crunch and the rotation at the waist. He has wide-jointed hips that go no back because of the butt piece, but very nice forward. He's got rotation here right below the metal part on the shorts, the bend at the knee, and of course the ankle pivot. So lots of rotation, lots of ways you can get this guy. And then the last thing I want to do here, now that we've talked about everything else and I've ranted and all of that, is just get a comparison with a DC Direct figure. My wife must have the windows open upstairs because the dogs are apparently hearing things and just freaking out. Sorry if you guys can hear that. Just a size comparison with a DC Direct. This is the Identity Crisis Superman. So you can see here just how much of a size difference there really is between these two figures. And I think they actually look really good together because of the angry Superman face. And then the body style, the punching. They do look really good together. So if you're looking for a Superman figure to display with your Doomsday, I would highly recommend this guy just because look at that body sculpt on him. It's a perfect fit, a perfect fighting fit for the DCUC Doomsday. So there is your scale comparison. So they definitely got scale right. We definitely got a Doomsday that's the right size, that's going to be able to go into anybody's collection and look fantastic. So I know these are going to be really hard to get. Of course, they're sold out on Matty Collector. Basically, your only option is going to be your Comic-Cons and your online dealers like eBay. And I know the price has dramatically increased. So to those of you who don't have this guy, I hope you're able to pick him up. If you do have him, I know that you love him. And that's pretty much it, guys. Fantastic figure. Amazing way to end the DCUC line. Sorry to see that line go, but I guess if it was going to go, it went out with a blaze of glory. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Of course, rate and comment as well. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day.